Hey folks, buckle up because Prince Harry just lobbed another verbal firecracker, and this one's sizzling whatever thin thread of peace was left between him and the royals. In a fresh chat that's got the palace buzzing like a kicked beehive, Harry spills his guts not just on his go-to gripes, but on the whole monarchy mess, his dad, King Charles, and where he fits in this endless family soap opera. The dude's out in Ukraine, lending a hand with his charity work, but it's those off-the-cuff lines from a rattling train car that's sending shockwaves straight to Buckingham. Picture it, rain-slicked tracks, midnight munchies, and Harry dropping truth bombs that echo louder than any war drum. So, let's kick off with the headline that's got everyone talking. Harry swears his conscience is spotless. Yeah, you heard that right. After Spare, the Oprah to law, security court battles, and a decade of royal dirt digging, he claims zero regrets. To him, it wasn't spilling family secrets, it was just setting the record straight. That's his line, and he's glued to it like a kid to candy. But oh man, the timing, that's the spicy part. Just a few days back, he popped over for a heartfelt catch-up with his dad, who's battling cancer and looking frailer by the day. And now, Harry's basically shrugging and saying, yup, I'd hit replay on all of it. Gutsy play, right? He didn't pull punches when the interviewer poked at regrets over going public. Flat out no, he says. Doubled down hard. The book was the only way to let the real story breathe. Truth, in Harry's world, isn't for wrapping in pretty bows, it's raw, unfiltered, and apparently, not a smidge too tough. Spare still stands as his hill to die on, but the backlash paints a whole different picture. Palace whispers are boiling over, branding the whole thing tone-deaf and straight-up rudeness, especially now, with Charles's health front-page news. Insiders are seething, one even muttering that Harry's just twisting the knife deeper with every retelling. And here's the sly dig that nobody's missing. Harry muses that the big focus next year has to be on his dad. He wants more FaceTime with King Charles. Sounds sweet on paper, but it lands like a quiet nudge about how serious the king's fight really is. Intentional or hard to say, but it's got folks wondering if he's subtly clocking the sand in the hourglass. Some call it caring, a wake-up for the family. Palace crew. They're labeling it cold-hearted, a public gut punch when things are already raw. The vibe from the royal bubble is exhaustion every time they spot a glimmer of Harry melting. Boom! Another interview yanks the chaos back in. Even his cheer squad's fidgeting now. You can't preach family healing one minute, then chuck grenades the next. But Harry's not buying the revenge tag. Nah, this is justice to him. He craves an end to the tabloid smears. A flipped script on his story. In his head, blasting it out is the lone path forward. Still, the flip-flop stings. He vows he's over the brawls. Yet each fresh soundbite pokes the hornet's nest anew. At this stage, even the most chill relatives are fresh out of patience. Meghan gets a quick nod. Barely a blip, just her old gem about truth being the smartest life hack. Harry, he's all in on that wisdom, whether it's pure or a tad tinted. No doubt, though he owns every syllable with rock-solid conviction. That fire in the belly, righteousness. It's the spark keeping this feud flickering. For Harry, truth isn't a gentle liberator, it's a full-on blaze. Now, zoom out to the visuals, they're not doing him any favors. There he is in Ukraine, Invictus Games hat on, snapping pics at war memorials, chatting with scarred soldiers, preaching grit and comeback stories. Surface level, pure gold. He's championing fresh rehab setups, cheering on athletes with prosthetics, plotting sports spots for vets nationwide. Who wouldn't cheer? But as the interview hits airwaves, skeptics pipe up. Is this heart or hustle? Harry's a pro at the lens. After all, the walking stick for those quiet memorial strolls. The thoughtful train gazes, it's all so curated. He gripes about fake setups, swears he skips him, but the whole package screams managed magic. Every snap, every quip, feels like Harry's sculpting his hero arc. The noble outsider forever wronged, totally zen, deeper in. He drops his success mantra, unbothered, twice, for emphasis. Then, the cheeky twisties quite Ukrainian in spirit. Locals digging his Lonval vibe. Eye-roll city. It hums, modest, but reeks of swagger. Classic Harry, rebel with a royal edge. He ties it back to Diana, crediting her maverick streak. Oof, that tugs heartstrings. Folks adored Dee for being real, not declaring it. Harry's dipping into that well a bit too often when sympathy dips. On the feels front, he insists he's golden blissful. Even headlines be damned. Family's frosty. He's thriving, at peace with his path. The media's the misery monger, he says, twisting him into the sad sack. But that edge of irritation, it's there, under the cool. You don't defend your joy that fiercely without a hint of self-doubt creeping in. The press, Harry's arch-nemesis. Full stop. He paints M as puppet masters yanking public strings. Blind to everyday Brits. They're the reconciliation roadblock, fueling the angry prince myth. That grudge festers like an old scar. His tabloid lawsuits, holy quests for him big-picture reform, holding hacks accountable. But here's the blind spot. His endless yapping feeds the beast. New chats equals fresh fodder. Quotes equals clickbait bonfires. He begs for quiet, then lights the match. The palace, straight up gutted. Insiders call it a low blow, especially the Times' short vibes on Charles. They crack the door for a reunion first in 19 months, and Harry steamrolls in with spotlights blazing. For a crew that whispers never whine, never justify, it's fresh betrayal. Patterns glaring, Harry yearns to mend, but every explanation widens the crack. Truth as healing prerequisite. Noble ink. Sure, but through his filter, it's ammo to keep chatting. No truth, no truce, he says, and Palace jaws drop. 2 fans, it's a modesty plea. 2 kin, it's a guilt trip. Him, as the lone truth teller in a mute crowd. No space for chit-chat, just blame. Timing's the killer. Post-reunion with cancer-fighting Charles. These cool, calculated lines land like opportunism. Life's short, he muses. More dad time ahead. Then, ... crickets. No hugs, no thanks, just chess moves. Harry's doubling down on spare 2. Vital, honest, no take, backlash, family implosion. Worth it. That tome wasn't therapy, it was a ink-stained hit job on shared secrets. William Diggs, Camilla Shade. Ghosts from the past all outed without a group nod. Cleansing for him. Carving wounds for them. Welder still, Harry dodges the mirror. Public calls him bull. Principles. He snaps. Bitter label. Press tricks. 0. Maybe I overdid it. Always their spin. Their mess. Yet he boasts British backing. Tricky sells sure fans root for him, but plenty a role now. Too whiny, too posh, too hooked on his own tail. Tough to preach from the jet-set charity high while cashing in on kin cuts. Cracks are showing, and eyes are rolling. Bottom line. Harry's real foe ain't headlines or high walls. It's that runaway mouth. Keeps the blaze roaring when a hush might heal. Will he ever zip it, or is this the forever riff? One thing's sure, in Harry's truth quest, the only winner so far is the drama.